the Zambian copper belt, and Zambia has been mining for over 100 years, largely mining copper, but with copper also cobalt as a byproduct. The big challenge is that today, with the global demand for copper likely to go up as a result of the green transition, there is a concern from a local and regional perspective, but also national perspective, is that will mining create decent jobs, and will it contribute to the country's, but also broader regional development agenda? And what does the region want? It wants to industrialize. It no longer wants to produce copper just as a raw material.
The minerals should be in a form that is usable, and obviously that will create greater value, but also it will create even better quality jobs for the local community. And I think that these are conversations that the government should have with those countries and investors who are interested to come and exploit the critical minerals that are within the borders of our country.
So far we have seen actually 3 major partnerships already. We do already have an MOU with the USA. We do have an MOU with the EU. And China has been participating quite effectively in the process.
The government needs to make very clear that we have certain expectations as a country, and we would like our partners, because that's who they are our development partners, to appreciate our situation and to work with us so that we have a win-win situation coming out from that conversation.
So we are looking into partnerships that will not only grow the mining sector, but in essence actually also develop further manufacturing, not only for particularly these raw materials, but also for other sectors, because there must be benefit that then spills over. When we did a research for the EU, for example, we did also identify some other spillover effects from the copper production itself. We've got sulfuric acid. What do we do with it? Can we actually expand in fertilizer? We've got end-of-use, end-of-life copper that is in all electronics and stuff. Could we actually propose a regional scrap recycling plant? So you want to have also a sustainable way of actually looking at this sector that also then spills over to other sectors.
We need to establish a manufacturing base for these minerals. That is 1. 2, money. There has to be a significant sum of money that comes into the country by way of investment, so that even the banking sector should grow bigger than it is right now. Then in addition to that, of course, our country has just gone through a terrible drought. And the drought exposed the fact that the economy, our power structure, our electrical power structure is 85% based on hydro. So that when we had a drought like we did this year, and most of our water sources dried up, we have been losing power supply. Now that is a threat to a manufacturing base. So clearly, we need to improve our power supply arrangements.
So electrification, but also energy storage from batteries is key. And Zambia, as does the entire region, produces many of the minerals for the green transition to go towards energy storage. Cobalt, nickel, next door, manganese, in Zimbabwe, lithium. So there is a significant push and a discourse and a debate to say that the region wants to produce batteries eventually to meet industrialization, but also to create decent jobs.
We've made some improvement in our laws to do with environmental management and social inclusion. If you look in the past, there was a lot of pollution and we're still dealing with some of those legacy issues. But there's still room to grow. So for instance, our environmental impact assessment, before an activity starts, like a mining activity, there's need for environmental impact assessment. And this does provide for community participation. But it's only before the mining starts. The problems we've been having are what comes after that. So maybe communities start experiencing problems. There are some effects of the mining that were not foreseen. Then there's no way to handle this. So there's need to change something in our laws so that there's room for continuous and genuine community engagement throughout the process. Communities start to complain maybe 5-10 years later that something is not working, but there's no provision in our law, so definitely we need to improve that. And also we need to improve how we work with communities and chiefs and other stakeholders. Most of our land is under customary tenure, meaning that it's managed by the traditional authorities. So mining companies are able to go to them and buy land. Sometimes they don't always involve the local communities. So definitely we need to improve our legal frameworks to ensure that community participation is there from the beginning and then it is continuous so that they handle issues that come up later.